So very important topic you are obtained for the stream. The concept of the refresher course really I liked because it is a very burning area, and people and the world leaders are trying to meet all the goals by 2030 as soon as possible. Many of them are met and still a long way to go. So with this, once again, I thank everyone, Director of MMTC, Mahesh sir, everybody. So should I share the screen, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can share, sir.
Okay. I hope my screen is visible.
Visible, sir. Visible, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So the topic of presentation is India's journey towards the affordable and clean energy under SDG framework. More specifically, I'll concentrate a little more on the SDG 7 and also SDG in general also. So the structure of the presentation will be like this. Have a quick discussion on the maybe SDG in general. What are the achievements they have done, and what is the long way to go? What are the areas they are approaching upon? And after that, we'll specifically discuss on SDG 7. So how the generally the world and India is reaching this SDG 7 goals. And after that one, maybe the last part of the presentation will be related to little comparison also I will do with India SDG goal versus with the world, and here and there China. China particularly I have taken because China is much ahead in some of the areas and also in the reaching the some of the SDG goals compared to world, even India also. So the last part of the presentation will be related to what are the flagship programs the government of India is trying to it's trying to implement or implemented rather. So what are the achievements and what are maybe the quick flagship programs what they have done and doing, and what are the Thursday areas what the government or government of India and in general world leaders are focusing and should focus. This is the little structure of the presentation. Okay, so we'll start with the first one is that, as we all know, sustainable development goals, which is incorporated in the year 2015 by the world leaders. Actually, it started in the year 2016 actually. So we already crossed around 10 years, and for us, we have another 5 years. So for that, it's a very important stage. That's why I said in the beginning that the concept of the refresher course is extremely good and the opted and in timely, so that every one of us should aware of this one, and even policymaker in particular. So 10 years already gone. What are the things in general achieved, or maybe what are the areas they are trying to focus upon in the next 5 years? So that is the very important thing to be considered. So this is a very important topic according to me. So just to have a quick achievements from since 2015, one of some of the social evils like child marriage, and also the child mortality rate, or maybe maternal mortality rate. So some of the things are drastically reduced. Then the girls are entering into the schools, and women now holds around 27% of the parliamentary seats in the world. So it's a good, so that everybody is, it's a kind of a women empowerment we can say. And also the access to the electricity and the clean cooking is also increasing drastically in the world, more specifically in India also. And the one important thing at present that without internet we cannot do anything. So at present, presentation is also going on with the internet itself. So that a lot of focus is given on this area. That is 70%. There is a increase in the internet connectivity, and from 2015, HIV infection is reduced drastically up to 39%. And due to malaria prevention efforts, by the world leaders or United Nations. That is, nearly about 13 million lives are saved because of this efforts they have done. And 110 million children are entered into the schools, new school, I mean, kids. So, and also more specifically, I said in the girls. So, because of that reason, maybe this gender gap is coming down. These are all some of the general observations of the maybe from SDG, they're from 2015. So, these are all the areas are improved upon. But every coin is having the other face also. If you look into the other side of the coin, the world leaders are now they call it what are the global emergency they named it. So if one of the very heart-touching element is that more than 800 million people, they're all the data taken from the United Nations website itself. So 800 million people, that is one out of the 11 population, they are in acute poverty and hunger. So which is very heart-touching element that need to be concentrated. And carbon dioxide level is highest in the last few years. More specifically, because of that reason, 2024 is called as hottest year in the world now, recorded. So this is a very alarming figure or picture for all of us. Need to be concentrated. That's why it is called as a global emergency. Then another important area that we can say that everybody is noticing now that geopolitical scene, that is peace and security, is getting worsened. Every country or most of the countries or more maybe what it is that who can guide they are into war. So a lot of conflict is going on between the countries, between the communities. So because of various reason, the peace and security is worsened in the world. So because of the reason, there was a calculation by the United Nations that 120 million people are left their homes. So this is another very heart-touching element I can say. Then another interesting factor I would like to quote, and it is quoted by even United Nations also, that many countries, especially developing and underdeveloped countries, they are into debt servicing cost. So that means in the over a period of time, because in the process of development, they have taken the loan, internal, external loans, and other things. Now their a staggering figure of around 4 trillion US dollars, the annual financial gap they need to serve for the debt what they have taken in the previous years. So now that amount is not available for their development. It's a very important area and need to be focused, and it is not that easy to solve this problem. And one more picture is that more than 650 million people are still lack of electricity access. So so many development and modernization happened also. There are nearly about 650 millions are not having access to electricity. So this then also we can say that maybe the people are getting electricity. More than 2 billion people are not getting what they are using on unsafe and polluted fuels, maybe like cow dungs and other things. So like this, if you look into these, some of the figures, some of the pictures, we say that still a lot way to go, long way to go. A lot of things need to be concentrated. So because of these reasons, so they call it as a global development emergency. And because of other the reasons, they were now they have identified the six different areas, uh, different areas, crucial areas. So they wanted to concentrate. So because there is another 5 years, so within that one, what are the best possibilities can be done? So they say there is what are the six areas? One is the food systems, because the hunger, poverty need to be reduced. The energy, another important thing, that is how much energy that to clean energy should be given. Then digital connectivity is another important area, because in the modern era it is required. Education, because of gender gap and development, skill development, other things, and jobs and social protection, another area, and the climate and biodiversity. These are all the some thirst areas that United Nations and world leaders are identified to be concentrated for next 5 years. So this is a very good picture, because as we have discussed, it is already 10 years past and we have another 5 years to go. So what are the areas to be given more importance? So these are all the six areas they identified. Now, for my presentation, now we are looking for the energy and some extent climate, or the two areas we will be looking now. Okay. Uh, so I beg pardon. I am audible now for everybody.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir,
Sir,
audible.
yes, sir.
Any
Sir, you are
disturbance?
audible, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, you are
Audible,
audible.
sir, audible.
Okay, okay. If somewhere my voice is not audible because of internet connectivity or something, please remind me, please. Okay,
Yes, sir, of course,
because
of
this is an
course.
online program.
Yes,
Sometimes
sir.
we miss out some of the things. Okay,
Yes.
thank you, thank you. Okay, so now my area of presentation or maybe the discussion will be more on the energy and the climate. There are the two areas to be will discuss. Uh, so if you want to go for the energy, and definitely we have to think about and discuss about what is called as SDG Goal 7. So I think everybody is aware of what is SDG Goal 7 is talks about. So SDG goal talks about the to ensure the accessible, affordable, reliable, sustainable modern energy to all, and by 2030 everybody should able to get. This is the major focus area of the SDG 7, and which is very important because the real development is it's not only economical development, and other things are to be ensured. So this is the major area that what SDG 7 goal is concentrated. Again, these the goal will be having different indicators they have identified. Like for example, 7.1, universal access to affordable, reliable, and modern energy. It should be universal access. Everybody should be able to get proportion of population access to the electricity. That means irrespective of the gender, irrespective of the category, irrespective of the rural area or urban area, everybody should be able to get affordable and reliable energy, and that is also modern energy should be able to get. This is the another one indicator. And the second indicator they identified is that access to clean fuels and technology for the cooking, because you know that cooking is the must for every home, and that cooking should be with the clean fuels or energy for the other. And that is possible with the some modern technologies only. So how much proportion of the people are able to get the clean energy, that is very important, because if you are using the outdated or maybe like for example cow dungs or maybe the old method of cooking, a lot of disease, a lot of problems people who will be receiving. Because of that reason, the clean and energy is required. This is another indicator. And third indicator is that to achieve the first two, then what is required is that focus on the renewable energy. What is the proportion of the renewable energy is you are able to give in the total energy production. That is very important one. So that's what in renewable energy share in the total energy consumption. How much the each country or the world at large it is giving. So another third area or maybe indicator in the SDG goal 7 is called as the increase in the share of the renewable energy in the energy mix. And the another indicator is that improvement of the energy efficiency. The energy efficiency is or maybe energy intensity, you can say that, which is again very important one. Giving energy is not only important that, and how much you are efficient energy you are giving. That is what is called as energy intensity. So energy intensity talks about that is that amount of energy required to produce 1 unit of GDP. So that is it should come down, because the efficient energy, if you go that, definitely what happens. So you are giving the efficient energy. So that is the rate, energy intensity, we can say that. And the last area indicator or maybe subsection under the SDG 7 goal is that international cooperation, more specifically for the developing and underdeveloped countries. As I said in the beginning itself, a lot of countries are in the debt trap. So the money or maybe the investment is not available to invest in the renewable energy. India is one among that. So we'll see the picture at the later. So what is happening is that if you want to concentrate some of the SDG goals, specifically goal number 7 or maybe climate actions they want to take, they have very less money for that one, because if they want to go for that one, they have to go for the modern technology, renewable energy, wind energy, solar energy, so many things. And for that one, they need heavy investment. And if they want heavy investment to be done, but already they are in the debt and the development process in under process. So they are least, some of the countries are least focusing that one. So this internet without international cooperation or the investment. So I think this is another area under SDG goal. So like this, SDG goal is 7 is trying to focus on these are all the some of the indicators. Now, what are the achievements the under SDG 7 is done? If you look into this 2015 to maybe recently 2030, 2023. So if you look to the first one, the proportion of population with access to electricity. So in 2015, when this SDG goals are set in, so nearly about 1,000 million people will not be having electricity. And now that is almost reduced to around 666. That means around 300 million people will be able to get the access to electricity. That's an achievement we can say under the goal number 7. And proportion of population with the primary lands and the clean and fuel energy. So that is 2.7 billion people are not having the clean energy in 2015. But now it is reduced to 2.1. That means all 0.5 or 0.6 billion people could be able to get the clean fuels and technology for cooking purpose also. And the third area of achievement, the indicator achievement is that renewable energy share in the total energy consumption. So in the world, these are all the world picture I'm telling about now. So this was around 15.6% of the total final energy consumption was from the renewable energy. Now it is reaching up to 18% in 2022 figure. I'm telling you this one. So that means that is around 2.5 or 2.3%. There is an increase in the renewable energy, and we'll discuss later about the India's achievement in this regard also. So these are all some of the improvement, and also see energy intensity. Just I said, energy intensity was 4.2 2 megajoules of USD per primary energy intensity was there, which was reduced to 3.87. And then international financial flows, especially international financial flows for the developing countries to support of the clean energy was 12 US dollars billion US dollars. Now it is almost doubled. So that is means a lot of progress is happening in this area also, but still a long way to go. That we'll have a look later. Then installed renewable energy generating capacity in developing and underdeveloped countries altogether is 248 per capita installed renewable energy capacity was there, which is almost again doubled in the 2020, 2023. Okay, these are all some of the achievements I can say about the SDG goal in general in the world level. Now we'll have a slight comparison. I just made some comparison here. It was around for so many years. I have just taken from 2010 to 2023. So look at this electricity access, the access to electricity, the percentage of population. I have just taken the 3 areas. One is China, India, and the world. If you look into this picture very quickly, you can see that. So India's progress is almost we are reaching to 99%. 99 point or nearly about 100% we are reaching, but not exactly 100%. But if you look into this red graph, it says that it was very least compared to the world, compared to China, we are very least. But in last 15 years, we have made a tremendous progress as per the access to electricity is concerned. But what is unhappy thing is that we are still below the China. That means we are not reached to 100%. China is 100% from so many years now. Electricity they are getting. But we are happy that it is about to the world average. World average is around here. This is the blue line. There is around 91% of electricity. That is still the 10% of the population in the world is not getting the electricity access. But we are happy in this regard that we are about to the world average. This is one area. But coming down to the next one, access to electricity. Again, if you divide into rural, we can say about the regional disparity and the things what we discuss. See, look at here the red line. So what is that? We are in the urban area. India is making a lot of progress. We are reached to 100% almost. We are reached to 100%. We are at par with the China now. And that too, what has happened last 2-3 years, it has happened. Okay, so in urban area, the percent of population is getting almost 100%. We are getting which is much higher than the world average. That is again a very good picture of India. that is, which is around 97% of urban population of the world is getting the electricity, but India is almost 100%. We are at par with the China, or we across the world with this happiest figure. Coming down to the other side of the coin, that is rural population. Rural population is yet not, still we are not reached to 100% there. That is again one, we can say that regional disparity, one of the cause for the regional disparity, one of the cause for the underdevelopment of agriculture, one of the cause for the underdevelopment of the rural area. Maybe this access to electricity is less, because electricity is must, energy is must for the production. So here, this is a one alarming area for us, need to be concentrated by the government. Okay. So the second indicator, what it is, we have just, I have taken 2-3 indicators just for the discussion purpose only. Now look at the we said the 100%. If you look into the 100% electricity is given in general, or maybe 99% in the rural area, something like that. But if you look into the access to clean and fuels and technology for cooking, the percentage of population. So look at the red line. So which was just 35% of the people used to get the clean fuels, and it is almost reached to 74% now. If you look into this graph again, our maybe who are working, if I am wrong to say that, maybe women are working in the kitchen, maybe together I can say. So that's not the point here. Point is that the clean fuels, only 74% of the people are getting the clean fuels. So that means remaining 26% of the population still they are using the outdated fuels or energy for the cooking purpose. Look at the picture. If those such a huge number of people, out of 140 crore people, if for 27% of the people or 28% of the people are still using the outdated energy for the cooking purpose, maybe the how much amount of their health impact, or maybe the productivity impact, or maybe the social factor, those so many other, or maybe their education, school, children education, so many other things will be affected. But look at the picture of the China here. China is much higher ahead to us. They are reaching around 87 or nearing up to 90%. So we are still long way to go here as far as the access to clean fuels and technology is concerned. My dear friends, I am not ending here. There is one more slide, is still a very important one. So look at this one. What is that? Access to clean energy fuels. Again, rural and urban area. Rural and urban area fuels, urban area, we say that around 94-95% of the people. Look at this red dot line. So what is that? In urban area, we are getting the better energy for the cooking purpose. But whereas in the rural area, so look at the picture again here. So we are just 62%. In the India average, it is 74%. But when you come to the rural India, it is just 62%. That means near about 40% of the family is still dependent on the outdated or maybe using the old energy system for the cooking purpose, which is big number, my dear friends. This is a very, very important thing to be noted upon. So, but one thing we can say that we are little better than the maybe the world average, above than the average. But sometimes we need to compare the one of the competitive countries like China. Purposely, I said I taken China as an example as a purposely here, which is we are trying to fight in some of the economical areas with them. So if you look into this one, this is a long way to go. So it's a very important factor that government need to be considered while making the policies. That is very, very important, what I can say. Okay. I'm sorry, it is a evening time. Maybe a lot of people are drowsiness and other things might be there. It is a one-sided. It's an online.
No problem, sir. It's interesting, sir. Please go on.
Okay. This online, some drawbacks are there. Corona has made us to learn all these things. Okay. Thank you so much. So these are all some of the areas that what the comparisons I have done. Now, let us discuss here. If this is a continue, now we want to achieve the 100%. Look at the world. I just taken the one graph here. See, if we go in the world average by, we are around 74% is of clean access to. So this is this purposely I have taken this graph. We are around 74% here. And if your same trend continues, we can by 2030 we can reach up to only nearly about 80%. If you want to go 100% of the population should get the clean fuels access technology and for the cooking purpose. Look at the graph, what range we need to grow. So that means cooperation from everybody, efforts from every country, more specifically developing countries and underdeveloped countries need to be do a lot of efforts. This is the graph, it should go in this way. So this is a very, very, if this is upper bound and this is a lower bound, and exactly what is the range it is required is this. So this is the one side of, this is related to some of the indicators of SDG 7. Now, this is another graph, that is what is the change in the electricity demand by the region. Maybe this is one more reason I have taken here. So here, what this graph shows that, so look at the China, this blue part is a China. The amount of change in the demand for electricity is, it is around this much, but it is again is going to increase. But the share of India is almost same. Okay, so this is, that means what is, we are just, this is an estimation figure, this is an estimation figure. So slightly it may increase. So change in the electric demand is may increase or will increase also slightly. Okay, so now this figure, this graph shows that. Now look at the China and India. I just want to talk about only these two graphs here. This, the green line of India says that, so this is related to GDP growth. This is based on the 3-year moving average. That is about this green graph. This is a GDP growth is expected in this range, but electricity demand is slightly higher than the GDP growth. So that means that is a government should sync between the electricity demand as well as the GDP growth, because if you want to increase the GDP growth, demand for electricity, demand for energy, or maybe the growth of energy should be there, because they are very much interlinked concepts. So that is the reason we have taken. Look at the China picture here. Look at the China picture here. What is happening here? Electricity demand is growth. It is little higher than the what you call as growth of GDP. So the electricity demand is higher here. So their use of the so because I said the previous graph and this graph is interconnected. So the demand for electricity is increasing. That means our economic growth is also increasing like anything. So these are all some of the areas that India need to be considered in the policy making. Now, this is the slide. This shows about the total energy supply by different sources. So, if we say this is about the world, here in this one, this is blue line. The bigger lines is all related to coal. In the world also, we are more heavily dependent. In India also, we are heavily dependent on the coal energy is highest. But one interesting factor, or maybe very happy factor, is that the growth of the solar energy, more specifically in renewable energy in general, the growth is increasing. Under renewable energy, solar energy or electrification is increasing heavily. We'll see some of the slide later. Here, these are all what you call as wind and solar, or maybe you can say that new type of renewable energy, which is without hydroelectricity energy is taken into consideration. So now, if you go into this one, this red line, this trend line shows that, so still it is going to increase like anything. If you take out this what do you call it, so take out this coal, then only you can able to see that the growth of pattern of renewable energy, more specifically wind and solar, we can call it as a new renewable energy also. So this is the very, very happiest way. But if you want to subsidize or you want to reduce the coal energy part, so but there is a drastic improvement is required, because just look at the graph, the coal energy, how much it is contributing, and the other energy, how much it is contributing. Almost around 50% is from the other energy, and 50% is only from the coal, which is a very disturbing factor, we can say that. How it is to be tackled, it's a very important question. Now, now out of this the renewable electricity, the electricity from the renewables, if you want to look at this one, I made a comparison between this China and India and the world. So the world is automatically it is very high, but renewable energy production or electricity production in India is it is also increasing, like in slightly there is an increase in, but if you compare it to the China, there is still a long way to go. If you compare to the China, I'm not comparing here with the world. In the earlier picture, what you said in SDG 7, we are already crossed some of the goals of SDG 7. But when you to go inside the things, now we are still long way to go. You can say that renewable energy, because a lot of potentialities there in India, but the growth wise still we want to reach not even 50% of the China's renewable energy, electricity production for the renewable energy we are doing. And coming down to this side, left side of the graph, here this is about the world picture, that how much growth of renewable electricity from the renewable energy is going on. So one interesting factor here in this one is that the wind and solar, they're doing extremely good. And also we can see that the solar is going to cross the wind energy also. In India also we are doing the same thing. Solar is crossed because of the modern technologies coming, and still we a lot of modern research and development is going on. So that is a good picture because we have that source. So these are all some of the comparisons what we have discussed. Now this is another slide of comparison, that is year and year change in the electricity generation by source in the selected regions. That means again I can say that China and India. Now look at the only these two graphs, this graph and this graph. So China again, if you look at this green part, this is called as the renewables. Okay, so if you the contribution for the renewables, still it is going to increase in China, but in India it is increasing, but not compared to the other countries, more specifically China. So this the contribution is expected to increase, and it should increase by 2027 or 2030. You can say it's going to increase. So these are I just giving the picture, that comparative picture between China, world, and India. So where we are there, and what the long way to go, how to go. So all these things I'm leaving you to discuss for the later at the end part of the presentation. Then now I'm particularly coming to the next part. Now this is again interesting factor will be coming. So if you look into the world and India, we are doing better. That was the I shown in the some of the graphs on the earlier electricity access. So from 15 to 2015 to 2030, so it was increased to 4%. But when it comes to India, we are increased to 25%. That means almost 100% electric access. Almost, I'm not telling 100%. Almost we are reaching. Like clean cooking fuels. So in the world is 11%, but in India we are increased by 38%. That which was 40%, now it is 78%. Renewable energy in the total energy consumption, that was 17.5% in 15 in the world, and 19.10 in to 2030. That is increased by 1.6. But whereas in case of India, we are increased by 6.3%. So energy intensity improvement is also good. And one more last interesting factor, this is related to India, I'm telling you. So what is the international cooperation is required, I said no. So out of 14 billion US dollars international flow of investment is there for the clean energy. Out of 14 billion, for almost more than 4 billion rupees are India. Just think about maybe we are doing good, but still it's a long way to go. So this is the some of the comparative between India and the world. So because of that reason, we can say that electric access we are cross the what do you call as world average. Clean cooking also we are cross. Renewable energy we are cross. Yeah, energy intensity is reducing. Renewable electric share is also increasing in India. Okay. So, but one thing I would like to highlight here in the this one, per capita electricity consumption. That is, the world is around 3,500 kilowatt, but whereas in India is 1,200. These are all the figures from the United Nations organization, this one. Okay, so these are all official figures, not anywhere it is. Official figures I'm taken here. So that means not even 50% of the average electricity we are consuming the world average. So look at the, so if you compare this one with the development, definitely it's not a happy figure. So development, GDP growth, or maybe production and energy consumption, these are all interlinked things. So this is need to be increased. If we need to reach to the world average, look at the how much energy should be produced, or sorry, electricity need to be produced. Okay. Now this part is now other side of the coin. Now look at the in India, what is happening that that greenhouse gas emissions. Greenhouse gas emissions. I think everybody knows that these are all the. This is what as per our Paris Agreement and maybe climate action. So it talks about by 2070 we need to have a zero net emissions. We should have. So if you want to reach those goals, so look at the what are the areas that are contributing to greenhouse gas emissions in India. That is about energy sector. That is 76%. That is 2,600. Energy sector means coal power plants 55%, transportation 12%, industries 9%, and the agriculture field around 420 metric tons of carbon dioxide. That is around 12% is from agriculture. That is there. That is coming from the livestock around 50%, rice and paddy is 20%, manure management 15%, from agriculture sector it is coming, and industrial process around 8%. That is more specifically from cement industries, steel industries, some chemical industries. Here, cement industries are highest contributor to the industrial process, and the waste what we are generating, like maybe landfills, wastewater, and other things. So that is around contributing 3% of sorry, greenhouse gas emissions in India. So if you look into this one in 2023, total energy, what is emissions, what we have done is 3,240 metric tons of carbon dioxide were emitted. So this is, if you this is a very, very heavy figure. So we have to nullify, or we want to buy, we as per the Paris Agreement, we need to reach to 2070 by zero net emissions we need to reach. So if you want to go that, so what are the areas, what are the sectors, what are the industries, what are the policies, kind of policies are required to mitigate this kind of things. The government and we people should think of it. Say for example, waste is in our hand. So like that, maybe in energies or maybe industries, government is doing a lot of efforts. We'll discuss some of the policies little quickly now. Okay. And now in India, electricity generation in India, now we are, I think the time is, okay. So electricity generation by different sources, renewable energy, if we look at the green part, we are happy that by 2027 or 2030, more than 50% probably electricity we may be getting from the renewables. More specifically in the solar energy we are going to get. And coal is still predominant in India, then nearly about 74%. I want to open this one if you allow me. 1 second, please. Can you see the this Excel sheet, please?
No,
Can you even see the
No,
Excel
sir,
sheet?
only the
Not yet, sir. Not yet.
Okay. You're not able to see Excel sheet. Okay, no issue. Uh, uh, here, what I exactly wanted to show actually means show. I have to reshare. Let's not go into all those things. See, what is the purpose of showing this Excel sheet? Not able to show you, but this Excel sheet nearly about 75% is from the coal energy itself. A very interesting Excel sheet I prepared for you people actually. 75%, and the coal is predominant from the beginning till now also, but proportionate is coming down. That's what I wanted to show. No problem. So by 2030, probably we will be better positioned as far as the electricity production from the renewables will be there. Okay. Then sector-wise electricity demand, agriculture 25%, residential 30%, industry 20%, and data centers and other things are 15%. So that is the way it is projected or expected to come. So agriculture, look at 25%. My dears, everybody please understand, residentials, we people are using around 30%, expected to use and now we are using almost the same figure, 30%. That means we are using more than the industries. We people are using more than the. So we need some kind of awareness with us also. Okay. So quickly, these are all some of the key programs, flagship programs the government is trying to adopt or adopted. Like, for example, PM Kusum Yojana. What is PM Kusum Yojana? I quickly tell you that this is purely to promote the solar energy in agriculture and to ensure the security for farmers, reduce the diesel use, pump sets, other things. They have made three types of component: one A, B, C. In component A, there are expected to produce around 10,000 megawatt decentralized solar plants. In that one, already so far around 3,200 megawatt capacity solar plants are installed. That means around it comes around 32% is achieved. In component B, I'm talking about PM Kusum Yojana here. Around 20 lakh standalone solar pump sets are expected to install with around up to 90% of subsidized rate. So if you take this picture out of 20 lakh, so far around 5 lakh pump sets are installed. Now that means around 22 or 23% of achievement target is achieved. And the section C is the solarization of the 15 lakh grid connected this ones. That means grid connected solar pumps that the farmers even they can produce the electricity from the solar and they can sell it also. And for this one already for 2.1 lakh pumps of 15 lakh is installed. That means around 14% is already reached in. This is one of the very, very important flagship program of the PM Kusum Yojana. This is very important. I would like to tell one or two more points. Actually, agriculture is another important area, backbone of India. Everybody, we know it. And so what the PM Kusum Yojana they're trying to do is that even the farmers used to go for in a night times to get the better energy, better electricity to watering the plants. Now, what the government is intention is that even daytime also they can get the better electricity. They can in a daytime they can water the plants also. So there are so many agendas behind this PM Kusum Yojana, and it is very, very quite successful as well. This is one. And the second, and because of doing this PM Kusum Yojana, already maybe around 1.2 billion diesels per year is saved per year. And by doing this one, every year around 8 million metric ton of carbon dioxide is saved. Every year I'm talking about because of PM. This is the estimation figure from the Niti Ayoga. So then these are all the some of the achievements and the target still lot way to give. This is one of the important area by to concentrate in agriculture. It's a very important one. The next one is called for the residential purpose because we are using the refrigerator, maybe we are using refrigerators or maybe the filter waters or maybe dishwashers. We are using many things. So for that one, star labeling is another that is called a star labeling is called a standardized labeling. It is called as so just to make the awareness of the consumers so that they can use the better rated or better starred equipments so that we can save them more energy indirectly. So the two-way benefit, the benefit to the consumers as well is the benefit to the environment and the government also. So this is a kind of awareness. Those equipments uses the less energy, so they'll be labeled higher. Certification will be given. So this is very quite successful program, and because of these efforts, every year around 40 million tons of carbon dioxide is saved every year. And it is one more achievement of this one is that so around in India or everywhere, peak demand for electricity energy is more. that they want to reduce. So they have and the peak demand, especially in the urban area, is very higher, especially in the morning time and the evening is very high. So they want to reduce this one. Another important agenda of this star labeling. And we have called as for industrials, we call as a PAT scheme. PAT is a just a very perform, achieve, and trade. This is nothing but so though those who produce less carbon dioxide or less one, so certification program they will be certifying traded energy saving certificates will be given. So and one certification equivalent to 1 tons of oil equivalent savings. So this is a kind of a encouragement to the industries, and those who violate that one, it will be penalized. So this is called as perform, achieve, and trade scheme. And we have called as a FAME. There is a FAME 2, FAME 3. This is again for those electrical vehicles to, especially for the from two-wheelers to four-wheelers to be used, and giving subsidies, even four-wheelers in transportation. And they under this scheme they are trying to use that one charging point, one station for at least 25 kilometers in highways, or maybe one in 3 kilometers. These are all the certain different plans they'll be having. Because of these efforts, around by 2024 around 20 lakh EV vehicles are sold. That is what the achievements of this FAME programs, I can say. This is related to the electricity production. Then coming down to this, India's renewable energy capacity, there is solar, I said it is around 75%, sorry, 42%, then wind 25, 15, hydro. So these are all the what is renewable energy, what we can produce and could able to meet. If you say total renewables around 26 percentage can be from the renewables in 2024 is done. Okay, so this is I'll skip. I'll skip. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so under the universal electrification, there is nearly 100% access. So again, different schemes are introduced by the government. One is called as Saubhagya scheme. So Saubhagya scheme, which is implemented in 2017. So what are the key achievements has done is that electrified around 25 million households between 17 within 2 years. Then nearly about 100% villages are electrified. And this is the one of the achievements of the Saubhagya scheme, I can say. So free connections, free LED bulbs, plug-in points, solar packs. So many other things are comes under the Saubhagya scheme. But a lot of challenges are there in this one, like intermediate supply, storage, low voltage, cost. So many other challenges are there. Okay, but it is one of the another flagship program of the government to for the 100% access to electrification. Then we have another scheme called as Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Jyoti Yojana, so which is started in 2015. This is especially the rural strengthen the rural grids. Rural grids means those areas to where the electricity cannot be taken so easily there. So to improve the storage capacity, distribution capacity, especially distribution infrastructure to establish, is the more important, like feeder connections, strengthening the transmission rate or storage capacity, other things, or the more intense. One few of the objectives of these there, and they are done or nearly about 6 lakh villages so far is trying to give this benefits to benefits. Then we have called as one more called as Ujjwal Yojana, Ujjwal Assurance. That is, this is Ujjwal Discom Assurance Yojana. This is to this is more specifically this is a scheme to strengthen the what do you call as the financial situation of the this electrical centers, financial status. Because of this reason, the financial burden is reduced from 22 to 70%. So a lot of ESCOM, BESCOM, other things, they'll be having a lot of financial problem. So they wanted to reduce this one. and the Ujjwal Discom Assurance Yojana, and we have called as Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. This is more, everybody is aware of this one. This is related to LPG connections, that is to give the clean cooking fuels. You reduce the reduction of the biomass and other things. So this is launched in the year 2015, and then we have called as National Biogas Program, which is a very older one. So that is 1981. So far 5 million biogas plants are installed. So now, because of various issues, not able to cope up. Then Govardhan scheme is another one.
ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಚಾಕುಡ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಐತ್ರಿ?
Satish sir, please can you mute please? Dr. Satish Mohite, please Mohite.
Yes sir, sorry sir.
Promoted, this is Govardhan scheme to promote the waste to energy plants. So this is having not much impact, but nowadays it's going up. Recently we visited in Bangalore, Mysore, if I'm right, there also it's going. Maybe waste to energy, it is important one. Nowadays it's taking up, say, okay. Like this, there are a lot of achievements, or maybe programs the government is uh, programs are undergoing. But still, if you look into this one, uh, this is another very clean cooking remains the challenge. Despite 78% exists, 250 million Indians still rely on the solid fuels, which is very alarming figures. The Indian renewable growth is impressive, but integration of storage, grid stability are still emerging the issues, because storage is an issue. I mean, distribution is another issue, leakage is another issue. And the next one is called as rural and urban disparity, or interstate disparity is still going on, which I already shown. Interstate, I'll tell you that there are some of the state like Gujarat. I'll show you maybe in the next slide, it might be there, that so there are some states are getting much higher per capita energy, and some states are very less. Okay. Again, there are so many other policies. Now we are discussed about Saubhagya scheme. Then there are these are all the different programs. National Solar Mission. Okay. National Solar Mission is the first one already we had discussed. That is Saubhagya scheme and Ujjwala Yojana. National Solar Mission, which is another flagship program of the government of India. So, what is the purpose of this program? Is that to make India global leader, solar leader. So, trying to produce around 100 gigawatt of energy, electricity from 2030. So, because of that reason, this program is focusing on the more establishment of more of solar park, rooftop solar, off-grid connections, domestic manufacturing. So like this, there are different schemes will be coming under this one. Then again, green energy corridors. This is another program of the government. So to encourage the renewable energy into grid via dedicated transmissions for the renewable energy. So even in the rural area, if you could able to produce, you can store there, I can sell it there also. Already we had discussed about this PAT scheme already. Okay. Then these are all the other things. Clean cooking gap, grid reliability, renewable integration, coal dependence, financial gap. So I would like to, these are all the things partially we had discussed. The last one I would like to highlight more, that India needs a lot of problem as far as the financial position is concerned. Though we are able to attract more, but still long way to go as far as the financing towards the energy sector is required, more specifically for the renewable energy. So just as per the Niti Ayoga, so this is the ratio, what is called as financial need, how much will be required. So if you look into this one, renewable energy required, the investment is required 150 billion rupees, is a billion US dollars is required, as far as the renewable energy section is only required. But we have done only 12 billion rupees, 12 billion US dollars. That means we are still gap of 92%. Likewise, grid modernization required over 50 billion US dollars. Only 5 billion is invested. That means gap of 90%. For clean cooking, only 10 billion US dollars invested, required. So 1 billion is already we are floating in. So if you go like this, there is a gap is too wide. Still long way to go. If you want to achieve UN Paris Agreement or SDG goal, other things, so still we are gap of around 92 or 90 to 92 percentage of investment from the international cooperation is required. But present geopolitical situation is not that smooth. Uh, Even there is a what do you call as forecasting that still the thing geopolitical international scene is still going to worsen in the days to come. People say like that. So if that is the case, I think these are all the targets or achievements what the government is trying to do, or maybe United Nations is planning to do. To still, it's going to be situation going to be worsen. So, but what I can say that it's not only the government, even each individuals, we have to make certain efforts, small efforts, how we can save the energy, how we can save the electricity, how we can cooperate with the government programs, so that all together, not only India, not only Karnataka, not only Dharwad or Mysore, everybody has to grow together, because STC goals are set in such a way, each goal is having its own, maybe each goal is having its very calculated goals, I can say that. If we could, every goal is met by 2030, I think 90 to 95% of the problems in the world will be solved. But what is seen is we have another 5 years. Looking at the scene, we are talking about only energy. That there are areas still poverty and other things that they are already in a acute amount of poverty, vicious circle poverty. So many problems are still there. Maybe I can say that India is doing better as far as the energy sector is concerned, but still long way to go. And not only policies and programs of the government, individuals like you and me can also make certain efforts towards the development of our nation in terms of energy, or maybe in terms of other sustainable goals. So with this, maybe having another 10